See what a difference light can make? I'm not going to talk about light in this particular instruction. We're going to get a little bit more into audio. And many of you were out of class last week. So for those that were in class, this kind of goes over a little bit of some of the stuff we talked about. But for the rest of you, this will be kind of new. Going to add a few things too. But let's just talk about sound and video and how important it is to have quality sound when you're putting together video for production. It really can be the difference between something that people are going to watch or not watch. You can have the best looking video, brightness, color, exposure, all that thing's working great. You've sequenced your shots well, everything looks great from a visual standpoint. But if the audio is bad, it's going to turn your audience off, and that's where you lose viewers, that's where you lose your audience. So you got to make sure the sound is good, and that includes the natural sound. If you're at football practice like we went to as a class, you've got to have those sounds of the whistles blowing and the feet stomping on the ground and the pads popping and just all the stuff that makes that environment and brings the audience in so they feel like they're there. That's really the magic of video production, is you can bring the audience into the experience in a way that no other media can do. And it sounds a huge part of that. So how do we do that? And then also, how do we get quality sound when we interview people or when we shoot a dialogue scene or when we're creating something? Music's a big part of this too. But let's talk about capturing the sound that's in front of the camera, sometimes behind the camera, and all around us in this quick video instruction. Let's go over once again the two graphics that we looked at in class. And again, your two different types of microphones are your omnidirectional and your unidirectional. Omnidirectional is great if I'm capturing everything around me. If I want a lot of natural sound kind of in a widespread pattern, where the unidirectional gets what's right in front of the camera. Excellent for interviews, obviously, and you want a unidirectional mic if you're going to be interviewing someone and you're really concerned with the sound of their voice and cutting out all the other extraneous sounds. So different types of mics that do those kind of things. There's different patterns that you see here on this particular slide. The different kinds, cardioid patterns and things that are right in front of the mic, and sometimes picking up a little sound behind the microphone. So you need to know what kind of mic you have and how to best use it to capture the best kind of sound. So obviously, if you get into video production as a profession or work in that industry, you're gonna have all kinds of different microphones. I'm using a small one on top of the camera. You can actually see it kind of in the top corner right here because this is a very wide angle lens and it's kind of dropped into the shot. But it will pick up, it's a cardioid, what's basically right in front of the camera. It's a modified shotgun style mic, so it can pick up a little sound behind as well. But when you have a camera, and I've got mine here, this is a Sony, it's kind of similar to the Panasonics that you're using. All your controls, for audio, your buttons are right here. This one has a shotgun mic, a small one on top of it. It's going to capture omnidirectional sound in front of the camera right here. It's got a little windscreen on it. We call this a dead cat in the business. And it connects with a little short cord, an XLR cord into the camera. This camera, like the ones we use in class, also has a second audio source you can plug in here in the back of the camera. Down here on the bottom, I can add a second microphone. So I might want to do something for interview sound, and in that case I might decide to use a wireless microphone and hook that in. You could use it remotely with a transmitter and receiver, or you could also potentially hardwire that. So keep different lengths of microphone cords around in your bag and in your kit. This is a longer one if I needed to string a mic further away. I've got some shorter ones as well, and that could connect all kinds of different microphones, including just your traditional handheld XLR microphone. Plugs in. It's got 3 little prongs inside of there, 3 little prongs inside this cord as well that carry right, left, and the ground, providing power to the microphone if it needs power. Sometimes a mic will take a battery, sometimes the camera through this cord will power the microphone to give it that phantom power. So that would be a microphone that's plugged in. I could plug that into the other end of the camera. Traditional handheld type microphone. This would be a true shotgun microphone. And I might plug this one in and then put it on a microphone stand, and I could, put that across the room on a boom pole or a microphone stand and get it close to the person. So in a room like this, I might use this for an interview. Even though it's an omnidirectional microphone, if there's no other sound in the room to distract from that, I could use this as a microphone source, or I could put it out at a basketball game or a concert to pick up good sound. It's a really good microphone. It would be good for something like that. I can also use, the wireless type microphones that come in the bags with the cameras that you guys are using. This is a very similar one to that. This would be the receiver that goes on it. And we kind of worked with these in class a little bit. Batteries inside. Obviously, you put your 2 batteries in. You turn the thing on. It powers up, tells you what the frequency is, how much battery power you have left. You would plug this end into your camera, and then on your cameras, it's got the bracket on the side that you would potentially put your receiver on. But for my camera, I would just simply mount it up here on top into the shoe that goes on top of the camera, and it would sit right there as I'm working, and I'd have access to it right there on my camera. The other end of this is the transmitter, and so these are frequency together. So this will transmit to the receiver that's on your camera or wherever you put it. You clip this onto the person, turn this one on as well. Powers up. It's got a lavalier microphone. That's what you call these ones that clip on. And so, you clip this on to the person somewhere. And really, this is, we didn't talk about this in class. You really don't want this microphone too close to their mouth. I know everyone thinks the microphone is picking up what the sound that is coming out of your mouth. It is, but really it's picking that up off your chest area. This is where the deepest sounds, the bass sounds are. So you kind of want the mic to be closer to right in there in kind of the top middle of the chest, and that's where it's going to pick up the best sound. So you would clip this on. This could clip to a belt, go in a pocket, all that kind of stuff. You can use 2 wireless microphones. We did a little bit of that in class on a camera, so you can hook up 2 different sources if you want the interview questions along with the responses, or you've got a dialogue scene you're shooting and you want both people to be mic'd. This kind of microphone is unidirectional, so it's going to pick up what's right there. So if you have 2 people and 1 microphone, what should you do? Put this microphone on the person who has the softer voice, because the person with the stronger voice, it will still pick them up if you sit them side by side or near each other, at least where they both kind of have the microphone. So I would, if somebody was sitting next to me, I'd clip this more towards this side so it'd be closer to them. And if they had a softer voice, I'd clip it on them closer to me. You can kind of follow how that works. But so these are great for those kind of situations. You can take this, clip it to something else as well. You can set it down on a table in front of somebody. If you don't want to clip it on them, it will pick them up fairly well from a reasonable distance. You wouldn't want to put this more than maybe 2 or 3 feet away. The closer, the better to the source. And so set it down on a table, clip it near them onto a chair or table if you can, something like that. That'll work really well. So that's a wireless microphone. You do have this type of mic, a lavalier mic that comes with a wire that you can hardwire into the camera if you're worried about batteries dying or that you're worried that, there might be interference in the room. So those are those types. You also can get, with a kit with a wireless microphone, what we call a brick that goes at the bottom of this type of mic, or any type of mic you can plug into it. You can plug a cord into this as well. But this is a transmitter that will then send to the receiver, paired with a receiver on your camera, and then you've got a wireless stick microphone or a wireless shotgun microphone, or kind of however you want to use that wireless transmitter. That comes in handy, especially at press conferences, other places like that where you just want to plug that into an audio output of a mixer or something and pick up the sound. You can use a cord as well for that. And then there's all kinds of other ways that you can use other types of microphones. And so if you're using, I just dropped my phone, so let me grab that. If you're using a cell phone, then you have the opportunity to use mics that have this small cell phone type plug, a 3.5 millimeter plug. And this is a wireless or a wired lavalier microphone that plugs right into the bottom of a cell phone or into a DSLR style camera. So I could use this mic, connect it to somebody and record with my cell phone while I'm shooting video, or just to record audio separately. That comes in handy. I even have, so I can use the audio recorder on my phone, this type of microphone, which is, I don't even know what you would call this exactly. It's kind of a mini shotgun mic. It is not, it's somewhere between uni and omnidirectional, but it plugs right into the bottom of the phone and then turns my phone into a recording device. So if I'm doing an interview with a football coach or somebody else for the radio or even for TV, I still could turn this around and shoot almost selfie style or mount it somewhere and have that microphone get much better sound than the phone by itself is going to pick up. It reduces some of the extraneous noise, makes it a little richer, adds a little bass to it, that kind of thing, and really provides some good quality sound. So there's all kinds of options that you can use to capture sound, whether you're shooting with everything from your cell phone up to an expensive video style camera and all the other ones that are falling in between that. But really it's knowing what equipment you have, how to best use that equipment, and how to get the best sound out of that equipment that makes capturing audio something that you work at, you get good with, and it becomes part of your video production process, and really a super important part of the video production process. So I'll put in a little quiz about audio along with a little quiz about lighting that will get, easy grade for you guys. You can kind of go back and look at the instruction for these different things. And then we're diving now into, once we've got, we've talked about how to shoot, how to function with a camera, how to get lighting right, how to record quality sound. So now we're ready to the point where we're going to dive into doing some project-based stuff and working on some projects. And the first one of those is going to be producing a short 30-second commercial. So we'll talk more about that coming up this week, and I'll see you guys in class.